welcome back to the show. Elementary educators understand the importance of teaching reading, writing, and mathematics, and young students across our district excel at those fundamental skills. However, another valuable lesson passed on to our children is community awareness, and students at McGowen Elementary are spectacular at taking care of their neighbors here in McKinney. With more on their generosity is 4th grade McGowen teacher Destine Grobe and 2 of her students, Noel Hellquist and Neela Sardeshpande. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
If you guys could tell us a little bit about yourselves, both of you, what grade are you in, what school do you go to, and what activities are you involved in outside of school or inside school?
I am in 4th grade, and I'm in Miss Grobe's class in McGowen, and I do a lot of dance. I'm Neela, and I'm in Miss Grobe's class too, and I'm in softball and dance.
Softball and dance, all right. And Miss Grobe, where do you teach, what subject do you teach, and how long have you taught?
I'm at McGowen Elementary. This is actually my 2nd year at McGowen. I teach reading, writing, and social studies, and I have the distinct honor of having these 2 lovely, beautiful kids in my class.
I see. Well, how's everything going at McGowen?
It's actually going really well. There's a lot of great activities going on, and the most exciting thing is our cause for the Samaritan Inn, of which these 2 girls are kind of leading and being the front people of this great cause.
I see. And getting to that, it sounds like you really wanted to challenge your students this year. Tell us what you're encouraging them to do.
Well, for me, I didn't start serving my community until I was in high school and even in college. And from that experience, I learned so much about myself and even became a better student because I was so aware of my surroundings now and how fortunate I am. So what I decided to do was start that process a little earlier for my 4th graders, which are 9 and 10 years old. And so I'm just basically every month giving them something to really think about outside of their little inner circle of which they know. And I really want them to have a better understanding of McKinney and McGowen and the community beyond just our 4 walls of our middle school, of our elementary school. And so each month I will give them a different challenge, and it's just something for them to think about and carry out on their own, except this month has kind of taken on a whole different life of itself, and it's kind of turned into something much more than just an individual project.
I see. Girls, when Miss Grobe first told you about this idea, what was your initial reaction, I guess?
I was very excited. I thought it would be very fun, and I decided for the cause they needed it more than I did, and so I took out my money from my piggy bank and used it to buy stuff for them.
I see. Neela, what about you?
Well, my mom had some options for me, like for Thanksgiving we have to do something so that other people are thankful for it, and so she thought of Veterans Day packages. We would send them to military families or the Samaritan Inn, and I chose that. And instead of every person doing one project, I thought many would be better because it could make a bigger difference.
I see. So every month you kind of issue a challenge, and then the students respond to that challenge. They come up with their own ideas, and they kind of see it all the way through the execution, as well as the documentation of everything that they're doing. And so what was the challenge for November?
November was actually to help those less fortunate. With the holidays right around the corner, we have so much to be thankful for, but I think sometimes as a 9 or 10-year-old, you don't really realize how many people are out there that are without this holiday season. And so we sat down and we talked about that and talked about the importance of thinking of others besides just ourselves. And so our challenge was to go out there and see what you can do to help our community and those that are less fortunate. I had really thought that every kid was going to kind of do their own project, and so we came back on a Monday and we all talked about their ideas, and it was sweet Neela here that said, wait a minute, if we all work together, don't you think we're going to make a bigger impact than the 20 of us going out and doing something small individually? And the kids immediately were like, yeah, that's a great idea. And then she, gave us her idea of the Samaritan Inn, and right away it really touched home with these kids. The Samaritan Inn has about 160 people there right now, of which 60 are children. And so I think for them to kind of put that in perspective, that there's 60 kids out there that really need help, they were all really on board with it right from the start.
I see. So usually each kid kind of does their own thing, does their own project. Mm-hmm. But Neela, you felt like that this month, to make a bigger impact, that you guys should all team up and work together. Mm-hmm. I see. That's very smart. I think it was a good decision. And obviously, Noel, you agreed entirely, and you really supported this cause, as evidenced as you kind of emptied out your piggy bank so you could support. That's fantastic, and I want to thank both of you for your contributions to helping the less fortunate and helping the city of McKinney. And so, with these plans, you said that they're executing them. Tell us how they're documenting them and documenting the steps that they're going through.
Well, each kid kind of takes that on for themselves. What we do require is that I want pictures throughout so that I can see their hard work in an actual photograph. So they'll document that all the way through and put together either an Animoto or some sort of PowerPoint. But the big thing that I want them to take away is how they feel changed and how their one step could affect others. I want them to really take a step back and think about that. So a lot of them are writing short little summaries or reports about what they did and how it affected them, and then how it affected the others around them.
I see. That's very neat. So they're kind of not only showing what they did so you can kind of preserve it and you personally can see what they're doing, but also reflecting back on that experience and seeing how it's affected them. So would you say that in these, because this is the first year that you've done this, is that correct?
Yes.
And so it's only been, 3-4 months now?
It is. This is actually, our second big service project. Our first one was actually helping our environment, of which our kids collected almost 20 pounds of trash off of our neighborhood sidewalks and neighborhoods and parks, which was great. But this one I think is touching home a lot more with these kids, and I think we're getting a bigger rippling effect than what we had thought, which was our plan at the beginning, is we want to go out and make a difference. And it has really expanded past our 20 kids in our classroom. Other students in our school are realizing and bringing in, as well as teachers and staff. Parents are going out and talking about it with other parents, and those parents are coming in. So it's really just grown and has totally blown my mind as far as the generosity and caring hearts of these kids.
I see. And Ms. Grobe was talking about a rippling effect in that what you girls are doing and your fellow classmates are doing can, affect other people's mindsets and maybe encourage them to follow a similar path. Have you seen anything like that? Have you seen, maybe students changed or people that you've helped, kind of changed because of what you're doing for them?
Kind of. Because lots of people are joining in and helping, even our principal. And so I think that everyone's kind of pulling together.
I see. So it's kind of helping your school and the community join together. Always a good thing. And Ms. Grobe, you kind of hinted at this earlier, but in addition to this ripple going outward, to what degree do you feel that there's change internally as well that the kids are, in reflecting on these experiences, how do you feel it is changing their perspective and their outlook?
I really feel, just from this past month, that a lot of kids have made some really great and positive changes in their lives. I'm seeing it even in their schoolwork. They're taking more pride in who they are, and it's coming through in the conversations that we have in class. It's coming through in the assignments that they turn in. So in that aspect, some really great changes are happening because they're realizing that who they are also affects every aspect of their life. But even beyond that, I want my kids to just realize that even the smallest acts of kindness can then touch another person, and then that person can turn around and do that same small random act of kindness, which is in the end what we want, is that rippling effect to keep progressing outside of McGowen's walls and into our community of McKinney.
Absolutely. And you said it's kind of, the change has been evident in their work and those sort of things. When you started out, did you ever expect that the program would have that sort of effect on the kids and on their schoolwork, and also that it would have so much success in positively affecting the community?
You know, as a teacher, you want to think those things. You know, you have such high hopes for your kids, and, you know, all I can do is make sure they're on the path and light the way for them. So, of course, that was my hope and my desire, but I wasn't expecting, here we are in November, to already have such a dramatic change and such a dramatic force happening at McGowen. So I am completely overwhelmed with pride, and I know that we will just continue to pay it forward.
I see. You speak of, you know, continuing on. What are your plans for the next few months? Do you already have some ideas laid out for future projects?
We do. We actually have the remainder of our months, school calendar months, laid out. There will be a service challenge for them to help our McGowen community. So somewhere they'll have to come up with ideas to help our school. There's also going to be a challenge to help the kids of McKinney in some way, as well as the senior citizens, and even, we can't forget about our pets. So there's going to be a monthly challenge to help the animals of McKinney as well.
I see. That's fantastic. Finally, girls, how do you feel that this program has changed you, and do you think that you know, even as you go on and you leave Miss McGowan's class, do you see yourselves continuing to help people in your community and wanting to do these sort of projects, you know, as you get older, as you get into middle school and high school?
Yes.
I think definitely, because I think just donating the money has gotten me into a whole nother world.
I see. You know, that's great to hear. And I wish you both the best of luck in all that you do. And to you, Ms. Grobe, thank you for creating this program and, you know, helping shape and change lives. And thank you for joining us. As we head into the holiday break, all of us here at Studio M hope that our family and friends in the community of McKinney enjoy a safe and peaceful Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time in the studio. Studio M, your McKinney ISD talk show.